A white professor suddenly noticed something unusual. The new black janitor in the lab was secretly reading his medical textbook. Seeing how focused the man was, the professor had a sudden inspiration. He decided to test the eager learner, pointing to a nearby instrument and asked what it was. The
Life, Neil, gas, thermometer, sir, doctor.
professor could hardly believe it. The answer was completely correct, and he asked to see the janitor's hands. After observing them for a moment, the professor was astonished. He handed him a pair of tweezers and asked him to pick up a test tube. Thomas accomplished it with ease. The professor then increased the difficulty, asking him to use his left hand. Thomas completed the task calmly and steadily. He even picked up a cork and sealed the bottle with a quick twist. The professor marveled at his skillful movements. Even the professor's college students were not this capable. The next day, Thomas was promoted to lab assistant. When his wife heard the news, there was no joy on her face. The title sounded important. The salary was only $12 a week, just 1/3 of a carpenter's income. But Thomas valued the long-term prospects the job offered. Thomas hadn't applied for the job on a whim. He had dreamed of medicine since childhood. His goal was to save enough money to enter medical school. But one day, the bank where he kept his savings went bankrupt. All his savings vanished, and his hope of studying medicine seemed shattered. Fortunately, through a friend's referral, he found a job at the medical school. The pay was meager, but it brought him closer to his dream. He would have been willing to clean kennels just to stay in the medical field. After being promoted to lab assistant, he finally got a real chance to learn. Determined effort and natural aptitude, Thomas progressed rapidly. A few months later, he participated in his first surgical practice in a traumatic shock experiment. The professor drew a black line on the subject and ordered Thomas to operate along it. Thomas performed the procedure with precision. Their seamless cooperation made the surgery a complete success. When the professor asked for the surgical records, there were none. The inexperienced Thomas had no idea what a recorder was. The professor flew into a rage, scolded him, and expelled him from the lab. However, after Thomas left, the professor discovered his notebook. Every step and detail of the surgery had been meticulously recorded. The notes were far more detailed than any recording device could have captured. Only then did the professor realize he was wrong. He rushed after Thomas to apologize and begged him to return. For the first time, Thomas was deeply moved and forgave the professor. From that day on, they became partners. The professor was as sharp as a scalpel, and Thomas was as steady and precise as tweezers. In their 12th year of collaboration, they made a breakthrough in traumatic shock.